We're down at the House Banana in Peel. There's a book launch going on today, and with me is the author, Peter Davey, and it's called After the Vikings. And this is the period between 1100 and 1550.
Yes.
That's a bit of research required for this then.
Yes, indeed, but I've been doing it for quite a long time, and I've been teaching students on a BA course on the island for 7 or 8 years, and particularly this subject. In other words, what happened on the Isle of Man once the Viking kingdom, the Norse kingdom, was established.
So give us a taster then. What was life like then?
Well, the difficulty has always been that we have a very, very obvious and proud Viking tradition, and if you go to the Manx Museum, it's full of wonderful coin hoards and other material, and burial groups and so on. So we have an idea of these pagans coming in and doing whatever they did, yes. and having a lot of money and raiding, all the rest of it, all that kind of thing. Yeah. But once they kind of established themselves and started to marry local people and speak the local language and so on, what was it like then? And that's a question I've tried to answer. It's not very easy because there's not a huge amount to go on. In funny ways, there's more to go on with Viking burials and coin hoards and things than for some of the later period. But over the years, members of staff of the Manx Museum and people like Peter Gerling, who was a Manxman who worked in Birmingham, but came back here and dug every year with students, they gradually started to put some flesh on the bones of what was going on in this period. So, for example, Peter did some excavations up in the hills, at Loch Erie, just below Snaefell, to show that there was some kind of transhumance going on. The farmers were taking their cattle for months at a time up into the hills and living temporarily up there, or at least farming families where we don't know exactly who, and he excavated some of the sites. So we started to get an idea of something about the economy from work like that.
So who's the book really appealing to? Is it students who are doing the research, or is it a general read for people?
I think I found I needed something to put together in my own mind for the students. Yeah. But most of my career I've been teaching adult students for interest rather than undergraduates and postgraduates for degrees. So I'm really, I suppose, aiming it at the person who's interested in Manx history and archaeology, who hasn't got any particular knowledge necessarily. And I've tried to produce a narrative. I've tried to be something that just says, this is what we know. It's not highbrow, and there's no kind of funny arguments. It's just, this is, as far as we know, this is what we know.
Where's the book available? Here, presumably.
Here, yes, as far as I know. I can't tell you.
Oh, right. So
I have nothing to do with it.
Okay, well, look at it.
You have to ask them, yes.
Called After the Vikings?
Yes.
It's available now.
It's available now, yes.